Ma'am, how to join Big 4 or MBB in India? Which college can offer placement into MBB or Big 4? Please note that even an IM, ABC or an ISB in India will not guarantee that you get into Mckinsey, BCG, Bain. It enhances the probability, but it does not guarantee. Similarly, if you're an IIT Delhi person or if you're an IIT Bombay person, right? BCG will pick 2 or 3 business analysts. Similarly, McKinsey will come and pick 1 or 2 business analysts every year. And you're talking about a cohort of 600 to 1,000 per annum, right? So please note that any school, any program will not guarantee your success rate into MBB. I'm saying this because I get a lot of questions around, Shatakshi, what are my chances? What are my guarantee? Nobody can tell you your chances. Nobody can tell you a guarantee, right? But then let me take a step back and talk to you. What does it take to build a career or to get inside McKinsey, BCG, Bain, right? So largely, there are certain steps involved for you to be getting into BCG as a management consultant like I was at one point of time. Number one, many people will just advise you to blindly do case studies, right? Which is where most of the people get things wrong. Of course, needless to say, case studies can enhance the way you think, but that is not sufficient in itself for you to crack interviews. You need to focus on fundamentals first. And that is why many times people miss out on cracking interviews with such big firms such as McKinsey, BCG as well. What do I mean by fundamentals? I mean that, do you know the Little's law of operations? Do you know how to value a deal? Do you know how to read accounting statements? Or similarly, do you know what is strategy? How do you connect strategy with marketing? So that is step number one. You all need to be able to handle the fundamentals of the topics, because management consulting, as the term says, is extremely diverse. It's sector agnostic. And then comes step number two. Step number two is that you pick up a lot of horizontal topics. What do I mean by horizontal? I'll first explain horizontal, then I'll explain vertical. Horizontal topics are, for example, management communication, data analytics and emerging technology, or liberal arts, which is psychology, philosophy, etc. In today's day and age, it is very hard for you to actually crack a management consulting interview if you do not even know the A of artificial intelligence or the D of data analytics, right? Because things are not operating in silos. A management consultant needs to understand, how is AI existing? What are the usage of AI? How do you communicate your points in 3 points? Like the way I am dividing the entire journey of how to get into management consulting in steps. You all need to be in interviews and divide things into steps or break things down into 3 points. And that is where management communication is very different than communication. Then comes the third point, which is where you start doing case interviews. That now you know the foundations, now you know the horizontals, then you start picking verticals. What do I mean by vertical? You do education cases, you do healthcare cases, you do steel and cement cases, you do oil and gas case. EV is a rising sector, you do EV cases, so on and so forth. And then there are multiple cases within sector also. Go to market strategy in a healthcare case, or a profitability case for healthcare, or a pricing case for healthcare. So the journey once again doesn't end there. Then there is fourth step, which is around community building. Most of the people, for example, I'll be very candid, many a times join BCG, McKinsey, Bain or Carney, LEK, etc. from GGI, I would always say that we have been silent observers of their success. Their success belongs to their own selves. Why? Because they were smart enough to network with people within GGI or network with the speakers of GGI. So for example, last weekend, Alpesh Shah, who is the BCG Asia Pacific CEO Advisory, came and took a live and interactive strategy masterclass, interacted with the people. Few of the people would have left great impression upon Alpesh. If that can lead to a reference, nothing like it. Similarly, BCG Global Chairman of Henderson Institute has come. More than 10 MDPs have come from McKinsey and BCG combined. So you get the drill, right? Community building. If you're interacting, if you're rubbing shoulders with the right people, and that's what happens in MBA school as well. You get such privileged ecosystems, right? And last but not the least, I always say that mental health is extremely important. You can go through foundations, you can go through the horizontals, you can go through the verticals, and then you can have fantastic community. But if on the D day you're not able to handle your nerves, then the partner will get an impression that you will not be able to handle your nerves in front of the client as well. So very important for all of you to go through these stages. So either you're in IIM, or you could be at ISB, you could be at INSEAD or Wharton, or you could be at GJI MBA. All these places will always enhance your probability of success, but nobody can guarantee, right? At ISB, I always say that there are 900 people, of 600 at Hyderabad, 300 at Mohali, but only handful of people get into Mckinsey, BCG, Bain. Cumulatively, I could safely say 70 to 90, right? Less than 10% chance of success. So try your best, but do know that the odds are stacked against you. That's why these jobs are covetous in nature.